Oh, hello there. Holy shit. I did not know this thing was on. God dang. Well, you caught me off guard coming straight from the house of the commissioner. How y'all doing out there? Hey. The visor? Yeah, once you become a dad, you just start wearing socks and sandals, visors. It's all over from here, man. Ryan knows what I'm talking about. What's up, Ryan? How you doing, man? Doing all right out there? Hope you're doing good. Keep that golf swing tight, son. Ha! Well, as you might know, today is June 6th. Summer's here. OTAs are going on. Football updates are coming through. People are getting dropped. The Jets still suck a fat dick. The Eagles got a couple receivers this offseason. AP's at the Saints. The Cowboys let go of everyone on their defense. Eddie Lacy, still fat, in Seattle. People are moving around, folks. Latavius Murray, my boy, my one and only, my true love. He's in Minnesota fighting the cold weather now. He's going to get learned real quick how cold it is up there. Lucky for him, they play in the dome. But people, shit's happening. Fantasy football 2017, it's begun. We're here. It's all here, man. Shit. Well, y'all better trying to figure out what the hell we're doing out here on a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday afternoon. It's the way too early ranks of 2017. I told you I'd come through and make some ranks. I'm here to talk some shit. We got some shit to talk about. Well, as you all might know, the gentleman that finished first in our league last year is Logan Brown. As much as he likes to blame or give himself credit for expert management, we all know that's not true. We all know that boy Zeke Elliott, maybe Jordy Nelson, maybe Jimmy Graham had a lot to do with his success last year. But as Logan rolls his eyes and he complains and complitches about, no respect, respect's earned. He ain't earned shit yet, son. One championship don't mean nothing. Coming from a guy that had one shit. All right, enough of that bullshit. I was going to go through our breakdown of how we all finished last year, even though we all know. Logan finished first, of course. Big CJ second. Huge surprise. Eli third. Ryan fourth. Tyler fifth. Peter sixth. Adam seventh. Matt eighth. Steven ninth. Myself, I finished 10th. Mikey, disappointing 11 after the amount of points he put up. Sean 12, and our new Sacco, who is this fucking close from not being back this year. My boy Man Ross. What's up? What's up, Chris? How you doing out there, man? How's that trophy treating you? You ain't put that thing in your ass yet, have you? Don't do that. I don't know how sturdy it is. I hadn't played with a tip. I heard it squeaks. Just be careful, man. Shit can get dangerous. So in today, my goal was to evaluate some certain stats that stuck out to me, in my opinion, based off just certain points, records, stuff like that. And then I'd like to go over how I think people will finish this upcoming season. So I will keep this book data sheet so that I can see how close or not close I was. Most likely I won't be close just because... you know what? I lied. This is how I think people should be ranked going into this season. So think of this as like the BCS ranks, like right after the NCAA championship happens or any other fucking sport where they rank people too early. So I'm not predicting the championship. I'm just predicting how people, the rank they should be in going into this season. So, first overall, number one rank going into the 27th season, I have our defending champion, Logan Brown. Logan Brown drafted 8th last year, finished in the first spot. There's a point differential. The total scoring for his team was 1,227 points. Total points against, 1070. I could probably do a quick point differential real quick. That's going to be fun to talk about. I didn't think about that shit before. So Logan had a great season. He had a pretty solid draft. I really thought out of everyone's entire draft last year, Logan had by far the riskiest. He takes Zeke at his highest potential value. He takes Jordy Nelson coming off an ACL. He takes Jimmy Graham coming off a patellar tendon. People were saying that dude might not even jump ever again, and this dude's taking Jimmy Graham like in the 5th round or some stupid shit. Needless to say, Logan had a very successful season because those risks paid off. Logan also finished with the highest point differential between points scoring, points against. What does that really mean? Not a whole lot because you can't control how people score against you, but that boy put up some solid points this year. He finished 2nd overall in points scored. So Logan did pretty solid. He drafted, like I said, he drafted 8, finished 1st. The difference in draft spot to final finish was 7 positions. It's pretty damn solid, sir. 2nd, going into the 2017 season, I have the one, the only, the man that proved a lot to me last year, Mr. Tyler Hilton. Tyler Hilton drafted in the 7 spot, finished in the 5 spot. He had a total scoring of 1,251 points, total points against 1,145. Differential between those is 105 points. Pretty damn solid. Tyler was the highest scoring team last year. I don't really remember anything about his team because I don't give a fuck. I know he beat my ass a couple times. If you ask him, I'm sure he'd tell you about it, make up some bullshit. But let's be honest. Tyler had was one of the teams with the least amount of points scored. Oh, excuse me, I'm reading that upside down. Tyler also had one of the higher points scored against him. So, in a way, did he have a better season than Logan? I don't know. I doubt it. Logan finished 1st. Anyway, enough of this bullshit. There was a differential spot to final finish of 2 positions for Tyler, being that he drafted 7th. It's pretty damn solid. He had a good season. I'm expecting him to improve next year. He showed me a lot. The 3rd position going into next year is Big CJ. Big CJ had a huge year. That boy made some different moves that we had never seen CJ before make. All that dude ever did was trade away his pieces and getting fucked by it. This year he made a good trade. I really don't know if the trade made that big of a difference because Logan and him pretty much just traded equal in pieces and both ended up in the championship. I haven't really gone through and actually evaluated the trades that he made to see if that actually made a difference, but I don't believe it would have. I think they both would have ended up in the championship. They both had solid seasons. CJ was the that's too far down the list. Was that 6th best scorer last year, and had one of the 3rd best defenses, meaning no one really scored against him. He had a point differential of 55 points. He drafted in the 3 spot and finished in the 2 spot. There's a difference of 1 gap there. It's very interesting that the 2 people on the top are right smack dab in the middle of the board at the 7 and the 8. But interesting. I have in the 4 spot one Don Pedro Maldonado. Boy drafted in the 2 spot, finished in the 6 spot. Did make the playoffs, but didn't do very well once he got there. Scored 1,168 points and then had 1,144 points scored against him with a differential of 24. He had one of the bigger drop-offs on the board of finish to drafting, which was -4. Drafted 2, finished 6. So thought that was just kind of interesting. Next spot is Ryan Brown in the 5 hole. Drafted dead last at 13, so he drafted at the end of the round, got the turn there. Finished in the 4 spot. Huge differential. I think he's the highest. Yes, he's the highest by far. He had nine spots difference between where he drafted and how he finished. Scored 1,174 points, even though he had those shitty, terrible receivers. That was 4th best on our league. But Ryan had the best defense. And also, I think he had the best kicker without even fucking looking. I know his bitch ass had Justin Tucker, some horse shit. Free the kicker. But he had the best defense by far. I mean, good lord, that guy, just no one could score against Ryan. Differential of 127, which I think is the second highest behind Logan. But the biggest difference is that Logan scored a lot more points. Yeah, Ryan in the 5. I guess to go back on CJ, I do see CJ kind of maintaining a steady balance. I put him third only because he was second this last year. I don't see how he could do that much worse in this offseason. I anticipate him having a good offseason, studying again, and coming prepared to the draft. Peter's always a solid player. He kind of goes through the roller coaster of getting shit on sometimes or getting good luck. I think Peter's going to come back and have a better year. Ryan, I think technically I'm finishing a little worse, but I mean they're interchangeable, the 4 or 5 spot. I see Ryan making playoffs again like next year, and staying steady Eddie. All right, the 6th spot, Michael Frey. Woo! That boy had some tough love last year. He had a scoring of 1,211, which is 3rd best in our entire league, but had 1,238 points scored against, giving him a negative point differential. He was by far the worst defense, and because of it, he ended up finishing 11. He drafted in the 9th spot. So his draft differential was -2, meaning he did 2 spots worse than his drafting spot. Now, I put Ryan up here, or excuse me, I put Michael up here because I think he had a bad string of luck, and I think he was had a good team, and by all means should have been in the playoffs, but you know, he couldn't win enough games due to his bad defense, and defense is important. Defense is what wins championships. In the 7th spot, I have Mr. Eli falling back. I think Eli's going to struggle this year. He had a struggle in this last year with all the injuries, and I don't think that shit goes away. I think he's drinking out of the wrong water fountain. His Halo performance has been struggling this summer. I just don't see him coming prepared to the draft. Now, Eli had a good year last year, regardless of all the problems. He drafted in the 4th spot, finished in the 3rd, scored 1,094, and had 1,112 points scored against him, giving him a negative point differential, but still finished 3rd overall. What does that mean? It means he made some good-ass trades during the middle of the year. He punked some people that just weren't ready. I think he dumped off fucking what's his name? Who did that asshole dump off? God dang it. He got Tom Brady or some bullshit real late. Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen next year, Eli. I think people are catching on to your games. But I have Eli in the 7th spot. You know, I love me some Eli, but I don't think it's going to happen this year. Speaking of another person it's not going to happen for this year, Mr. Jamie Freeman himself, your commissioner. I drafted on the 8th spot. Oh, excuse me. I had myself at 8. I drafted in the 5th spot, which I thought was a good spot there to begin with, but due to some injuries and poor management, I finished number 10 overall. I had abysmal scoring, and I had way more points scored against me. I was in the top half of defense, but still wasn't enough with how shitty I scored. What's funny is you look at Eli and mine's scoring. Eli scored, was that 18 points more than me? And I had 2 less points on defense, or excuse me, 2 more points on defense scored against, but the difference in finishing was 3rd and 10th. Goodness gracious. That's how fucking tight our league is, fellas. It's couple games is the difference between getting fucking Sacco or getting 2nd place or some bullshit. I had one of the worst differentials between finishing and drafting. I had it 5 spots. That's pretty terrible. But I don't know how much of that was managing or injuring. That was a lot, dude. I couldn't pick a kicker all year. Quarterback sucked. AP was gone. It's just a bad year for the Heimsters. All right, here's my next ranked. I think this fella's gonna keep continuing to fall. He's got a real big mouth. You know, he bitches so much. And he claims there's all this stuff about trying to help the league become a better league. It's really just a lot of trolling. There's a lot of whining, bitching, moaning, complaining. He talks about this anarchy bullshit. He's trying to overthrow the government. You guys know who he is. He's the one, the only, the Adam Brown at the 9 spot. Drafted in the 6 hole, finished in the 7. So it's pretty accurate to where he drafted, if you want to use that as a method of statistic. His total scoring was 1104. Points against was 1162. So he definitely had a negative differential of almost 60 points and a -1 difference between draft spot and finish spot. Kind of a shitty year for him, as well as everyone else that's getting ready to get named. And I don't see him improving next year. I think me and Adam are going to be right about where, right about below the average line there. Just the way it works out sometimes for us. In the 10 hole, I have Stephen Frey. Drafted 12 overall last year and finished 9th. Had a scoring of 1096 and a points against of 1225, which was 2nd worst defense in the league. So something is going on with those Frey boys. They do not know how to play defense for a dog's ass. He had a 129 point difference, but he still finished 3 spots better than his draft position. So what does that really mean? I don't know. He had a rough year. I know that much. That boy had a rough year. I have him finishing 10th. God dang it. I keep going against myself. I have him ranked 10 overall going in this year. Maybe he does a little bit better. Maybe he gets up to the 8 spot, the 7 spot, but 10 is right now his home. Oh, here's a fun one. I have Chancho Messick at 11. John drafted 1st overall. Went in and just had a terrible draft. And he ended up finishing 12th on the season. Why? I don't know. Maybe he didn't have that big of a bad draft. Maybe I should have the draft board up. I just remember him taking like so many freaking second string running backs that like eventually that plan was just going to fall through, right? I mean, Lev Bell's coming back home. The Spencer Ware was the only one that didn't fall through, but then eventually it kind of did because that boy just fell off a damn cliff. And there was another running back he took that was a backup. I mean, I guess to be fair to Sean, I don't really remember his entire draft. I just remember him taking a lot of second string running backs, and it was a very risky strategy, just like Logan's. And one of them paid off, and the other one didn't. Doesn't mean it's wrong. No, just means it didn't work out. So I apologize for talking some shit there on Sean, because it easily could have worked out, and he could have been a genius. So I do have Sean finishing ranked 11 going into this year. He finished 12th, like I said, had a point differential of plus 82, and had 11 spots difference between his drafting spot and his finish spot. Like I said, what do those numbers really mean? I don't know. I was trying to see if there was a pattern in where you draft and how you finish. I haven't really seen a whole lot. It looks like everyone that made the playoffs drafted in the middle, except for CJ and Peter. They were kind of at the beginning. Ryan was at the very end. But I don't know. Matt Medley at 12, drafted 11, finished 8th. Bad year for Matt. Scored 1,051. Had 1139 points against, negative 87. Had 3 spots differential there. All right, I'm trying to keep this moving shit. It's already get fucking long. Fuck. All right, I have at the 13th spot coming in this year, the new guy. We don't even know who the fuck it is. It could be Roley. It could be Matt Martin. It's neck and neck right now. I'm gonna go over the draft order for our projection right now. But y'all thought I was about to say Chris Manross or Sacco at the 13th spot. That boy about to go back to back. Manross had a rough year last year. God damn, that boy had a rough year last year. I think it mentally fucked him so hard. He's about to do it twice in a row. At the 14th spot, Manross coming in. There's no reason why I should rank him above Rolly, who has experience, and Matt, who takes this shit very serious. Above Chris. All I've seen from Chris is a bad year. How could I possibly give Arsaco any love when he hasn't earned it? So Manross, this is my call out. You better step your game up, young blood. You thought you'd join the freaking officially. This is a Shark League, son. We coming in there, we want to see improvement. We want everyone to be competitive, of course. Of course, we love his presence, and I'm glad he's sticking around. He had a rough year last year, scoring 985 points and letting people score on him 11-16 with a negative 131. And that pretty much sums up his year. He doesn't need to go through anything else. Like I said earlier, our best scorer was Tyler Hilton, 1251. Our worst scorer was Chris. Best defensive team was Ryan, 1047. That is nuts. And worst defense was Mike at 1238. That's over 200 point difference. That is fucking crazy. With that goes our ranks. Logan 1, Logan 1, Tyler 2, CJ 3, Peter 4, Ryan 5, Michael 6, Eli 7, Jamie 8, Adam 9, Steven 10, Sean 11, Matt 12, Rolly / Matt Martin at 13, Chris at 14. Yeah, good luck with that bullshit. So, our draft order projections. We have had March Madness, Synchronized Swimming, the Masters, the Quidditch Cup 10, Kentucky Derby, National Spelling Bee, and NASCAR. It's 3, 6, 7 events. So basically halfway there. And through that, our draft order as it stands is Steven, 38 points, Logan, 39 points, Mike at 41, Ryan at 42, Eli, 43, Chris at 46, myself at 49, Peter at 54, Tyler 56, Matt 57, CJ 61, Sean 67, Adam 68. Matt right now is at 86 and Rolly's at 98. So technically Matt is just beating Rolly. The point differential, I'm not sure how... yeah, I'm giving them the ranks on how they finish, because if they end up doing really, really well, which Matt's been doing well until this last one, but potentially they could get up and compete with us in our actual ranking standings. So Matt obviously has the early lead on Rolly, and Rolly's got a couple six more comps to really step it up. We have the Oklahoma Open. It's a bowling tourney. Tour de France, the LPGA US Open, the water polo qualifiers, and the squash world champion. And then Sean and I are going to pick another competition to make up for the beer pong deal. That's it, fellas. Y'all motherfuckers have a good day. If you don't want a baby, don't go inside. If you do, go inside. I'm going to be a dad soon. This shit's awesome. I'm going to be joining the freaking dad club. It's supposed to be a boy. We're not 100% sure yet, but we'll find out. Does that mean my fantasy talents are going to decrease? Probably. I don't think I'll be able to wake up at 3 in the morning. Actually, while I'm taking care of a baby in the morning, I'm going to be scoping that fantasy scene real quick. So maybe I can become better. Maybe I'm sitting there holding a baby, looking at fantasy shit. I don't know. Does my golfing game go down? Potentially. Maybe next summer I'll have enough time to get a babysitter. Who knows? I don't know, man. Shit's crazy. You never know what to freaking expect. But at the end of the day, Spurs got ripped off. Cowboys are going to be good this year. I see them taking the division again, going to make some noise. Zeke's going to have a good year. Dak's going to have a good year. Des Bryant's going to have over 1,000 yards. You heard it here first, people. Yeah. Fuck the Eagles, fuck the Skins, fuck the Giants. Go Cowboys. Love y'all. Peace and blessings.